Good afternoon. My name is Miss Amanda Diario. I have served as the guidance counselor for the class of 2020 for the past 3 years. I would like to welcome everyone to Newell Preparatory Charter School's class of 2020 virtual graduation ceremony. This school year has been a challenge to all of Newell Prep. With the reality that we moved from a school building setting for learning to a virtual learning environment, took some adjusting for our scholars, their parents, our teachers, and staff. They all had to adjust to a new way of learning, teaching, and working together. The class of 2020 met the challenge, and we come today to celebrate their hard work over the past 3 years. So we welcome you to the graduation of the class of 2020. To all who watch this ceremony, thank you. Thank you for supporting these young men and women. We thank you for entrusting the Newell Preparatory Charter School community with their education and the formation of these wonderful young men and women. It is with great honor and joy I welcome parents, families, friends, scholars, Board of Trustees, distinguished guests, and Newell Prep teachers and staff to the 8th grade graduation ceremony of Newell Preparatory Charter School. So let us begin our celebration. Let us welcome the class of 2020. It is with great pleasure that I introduce to you Yuridia Alvarado, who will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And now join us in the singing of the national anthem led by the New World Prep music teacher, Ms. Albanese.
Oh, say, can you see high the totally light? What so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched, were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets regular, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the
New World Prep opened its doors to its first sixth grade class in September of 2010. It was only able to do this because interested community members wanted to create a middle school in the Port Richmond area in order to provide parents with an educational choice and school setting that would enable their children to develop the academic and life skills that are necessary to be successful in high school, college, and beyond. I would like to recognize the members of New World Prep Board of Trustees. At this time, I would like to introduce Mr. Angelo Aponte, the president of New World Prep Board of Trustees, to share a message from the board.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Angelo Aponte. I am the president, chairman of New World Prep's Board of Trustees, and I want to bring to you greetings. This is especially incredible time for all of us, and you, the class of 2020, the most extraordinary class to graduate from New World Prep in particular. Congratulations to the class of 2020. This is the most extraordinary year for all of us as families and as students. 2020 is the 10th anniversary of the founding of New World Prep. During the course of this academic year, we lost 3 board members earlier on. Mr. Dennis Kelleher, our patron and one of the original founders of New World Prep, Mr. John Tobin, who was the previous chair of the board, also a founding member, and Mr. Arnold Obi, who died of the coronavirus while visiting his family in Puerto Rico. To them, we dedicate a good portion of this entire graduation and this entire class. So we know the pain and the struggles that everybody has gone through, and I'm extraordinarily proud of all of you, your parents, your families, at how you have handled this enormous, enormous challenge. Years from now, somebody's going to say to you, where were you in 2020? And you're going to look back and say, I know exactly where I was, the moment where I was, and where I was standing. And you're going to remember New World Prep. You're going to remember the struggles that you went through as a student, the successes you achieved because of the team of teachers and faculty who loved you as if you were their own. And in fact, I think some of them still think that you're part of them and you are their own. But more importantly, what you represented to the world is absolutely incredible. This world is very confused at this point, not knowing which way is up, which way is down. The pandemic has created worldwide panic. But you have steadfastly stayed with your goal, and that was to complete your studies, to complete your academic work, to achieve under the most dire and most difficult circumstances that any student would be expected to have to deal with. You did it with grace, you did it with hard work. You got to be pretty good at using your computers and the like. You thought you were good before, but I will tell you that after this process and experience, you're a whole lot better. You even taught your parents how to use it too. And so Mom and Dad learned a great deal from this experience that we've gone through. I can't tell you how extraordinarily proud we are of each and every one of you and your families who struggled along right with you. You will remember this hopefully fondly. Some of us will remember it sadly. But most of all, we're going to remember it proudly for what you have achieved and what you have done under the most adverse conditions that you could expect anybody to go through and to expect to succeed. And you have succeeded beyond anybody's imagination. More than all of the outside people who say these kids can't learn, you're not capable of doing anything, and yet the highest achievements in terms of performance by students on Staten Island, bar none. You have climbed that mountain, and you have achieved, and you have succeeded. So on behalf of the Board of Trustees, on behalf of everybody, your teachers, your parents, and a special thank you to your parents, because you've achieved with your sons and daughters just as well. I can't tell you how proud I am of every single one of you. Best of luck to you, and remember, 2020 is a special year. Well, yes, worldwide pandemic, but in that process, we also sent somebody to the space station. The first time America got back into the race of space. And so it is a momentous time. And I expect one of you, at least one of you, to be on the next shuttle flight that maybe goes to another planet to start a new civilization that will help make this world, or maybe the next world, a better one than what we've been wrestling with this entire time. So best of luck to all of you. All the best.
It is with great pride that I announce the 2020 Class Salutatorian. She is an individual that has carried herself with great poise and determination. She was a member of the National Junior Honor Society, has consistently made honor roll in her 3 years. She was enrolled in both algebra and living environment regents courses as an 8th grader, and a Puma Pal. Your class salutatorian, Dua Shaw.
Good afternoon, Mrs. Amy, Mr. Foley, faculty, friends, family, and fellow graduates. My name is Zara Shah, and I'm new at Prep 2020 Salutatorian. Even though our graduation is online, that doesn't mean it can't be. We all made amazing memories with each other in our classes over the past 2 years, and we are the first ever new Prep class to graduate virtually. Likewise, today is a great day to feel and be inspired, as well as positive, and appreciate all of our family, friends, and teachers who supported our numerous successes. Success is defined as the accomplishment of an aim, goal, or motive. This could be wealth, respect, power, honor, a position, or anything that we wish to accomplish. To achieve your goals, you need to have an optimistic mindset. This type of mindset is the absolute best to have. In terms of success and happiness, we can quite literally achieve anything we desire through this advantageous mindset we succeed, along with hard work and effort. Graduation is an example of the success that every single one of us has attained through our hard work and determined efforts. Additionally, everything takes time, and everything you need will come exactly when you need it. Most of us get lazy, unmotivated, or discouraged, and consequently give up. We don't realize how close we were to success when we give up. Trust the process and stay committed to your progress. The people around me, including my friends, family, and teachers, have kept me motivated and inspired me to be the best version of myself that I could be. Make sure to surround yourself with good-natured, encouraging, and empathetic people who want the best for you, people you can lean on, depend on, and trust. I sincerely hope all of us can achieve our goals in life, no matter how big or small. I wish you all the best in your endeavors as well as during your high school career. As Eleanor Roosevelt said, the future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams. May you always remember to surround yourself with those who inspire you, stay optimistic, trust the process, and acquire people who help you accomplish your biggest dreams, as those around me have helped me accomplish mine. Thank you to all who have helped us succeed. Congratulations to my fellow classmates in 2020. Thank you.
I would like to introduce Mr. Sam Foran, Coordinator of Student Life, to present the Special Student Awards.
Congratulations, class of 2020. In recognition of outstanding contributions to their leadership among their peers, a commitment to public service, and a desire to create real change, the Comptroller of the City of New York Student Achievement Award is presented to Alda Nestor Camacho and Cesar Cristobal. In recognition of demonstrating kindness, decency, and a willingness to lend a helping hand, the Senator Andrew J. Lanza Good Citizen Award is presented to Hope Corian and Haja Timberlake. In recognition of your commitment to bettering yourself, your school, and your community, your strength of character which has helped you achieve your goals and will guide you in making the right decisions in the future, and your remarkable courage which will aid you in meeting the challenges ahead, the State of New York's Office of the Attorney General's CCC Award is presented to Genesis Almanzar and Annalise Lopez. In recognition of exhibiting a consistent community commitment and establishing a firm personal foundation, the Councilwoman Deborah Rose Civic Engagement Award is presented to Yasmin Tapia. The Senator Andrew J. Lanza Outstanding Community Service Award for Outstanding Community Service and Leadership is presented to Nayela Martinez. The Office of the District Attorney of Richmond County's Champion of Justice Award is presented on behalf of the people of the Borough of Staten Island in recognition of your dedication to the fair treatment of others, standing up for those in need, and for your commitment to justice in school and in your community, and is presented to Ruby Morales. The following students have demonstrated exemplary character and service to their community and are presented with the Max Rose Congressional Award for Civic Leadership. Brielka Rodriguez, Charisma Anova, Yuridia Alvarado, Amber Hotaling, and Jarian Garcia. In recognition of a scholar athlete who demonstrates pride, respect, excellence, and purpose on the field, in the classroom, and in the community, the Scholar Athlete Award is presented to Kevin Panfio and Hope Corian. In recognition of exceptional commitment, not only to academics, but also to community service and advocacy, the Public Advocate Award is presented to Janina Irizarry. The President's Educational Achievement Award, in recognition of outstanding educational growth, improvements, commitment, and intellectual development in their academic subjects, is presented to Sherlyn Mendez and Elena Mikoku. In recognition for maintaining 100% attendance through all 3 years in middle school, this award goes to Jermaine Adu, Fadil Barua, Cesar Cristobal, and Maria Reyes Ezekiel. These next 4 awards are in recognition of outstanding achievement in these content areas over the course of their 3 years here. For mathematics, it is presented to Maria Reyes Ezekiel. For English Language Arts, it is presented to Najeli Rodriguez Estudio. For Science, it is presented to Dua Shah. For Social Studies, it is presented to Helen Ortega Mendoza. Our next award reflects the student who has the second highest average over the course of their 3 years at New Worlds Preparatory Charter School. We would like to present the award for a salutatorian to Dua Zara Shah. Our next award reflects the student who has the highest average over the course of their 3 years at New Worlds Preparatory Charter School. We would like to present to you Amber Hotaling. The highest award at New Worlds Prep given to a scholar is the Father Flynn Award. Father Michael Flynn was the pastor of St. Mary's Church and School, which now serves as our school's main campus. He was also one of the key original founders of New Worlds Prep. He saw firsthand the need to establish a school that allowed for children in the Port Richmond neighborhood to have a choice in their education. That choice was for success. He knew that poverty and being an immigrant too often is the obstacle put in their way by society. And because of that, too often, young people do not get the support necessary to develop their God-given talents. So with his persistence and hard work, along with the assistance of the other founding board of trustees, New Worlds Prep opened its doors in September of 2010. With the graduating class of 2020, we can proudly say that New Worlds Prep has close to 1,000 scholars graduate from New Worlds Prep. That means 1,000 additional young people of color, often in poverty and immigrants, go on to high school and college prepared with the necessary skills and education to be successful. The Father Flynn Award goes to a student who not only represents the guiding values of New World's Prep, pride, respect, excellence, purpose, but has strived to overcome any obstacle that has been in their way while in New World's Prep, and have become an outstanding member of the school community. This year's award is given to Adami Sanchez. Thank you.
It is with great pride that I announce the 2020 class Valedictorian. She has worked hard to exceed and achieve in academics and citizenship. She was a member of the National Junior Honor Society, where she held a position of secretary. She was enrolled in both algebra and living environment Regents courses as an 8th grader. She was a cheerleader for all 3 years, part of the track team and photography club in 6th grade, held the position of University Prep representative, was a Puma Pal, and won first place for New World Prep through PAL, a debate competition. She is the true definition of a scholar and demonstrates kindness at all levels. Your class valedictorian, Amber Ann Cantelli.
Good afternoon, students, families, and staff of New World Prep. I would first like to start this speech by thanking Ms. Diario, Mrs. Amy, and Mr. Foley for awarding me this honor of valedictorian. It has truly been a blessing for me and my family. I would also like to thank all of my teachers who have guided me down the right path and have encouraged me when I didn't feel like trying. I would like to personally shout out Ms. Shama for teaching me the importance of teamwork on and off the cheer mat, Ms. Farciette, Ms. Klingel, and Ms. Cruz, who taught me integrity, and Mr. Duffy, who taught me the importance of math and that you can have fun while doing what you love. I would also like to thank Mr. Hart for showing me the importance of staying true to yourself and not procrastinating when doing work. Additionally, Mr. Tarlock, who taught me the importance of laughter. I am thankful for every single teacher who has ever taught me over these 2 years and have taken something from all of them, including those who may not teach here anymore, such as my mentor, Mr. McNeil. Most importantly, I would like to thank my entire family, more specifically my father, who may not be here physically, but I know he's looking down and is very proud of me. I wouldn't be able to do it without their love and support. Every single student, including myself, has had their ups and downs in the classroom. Rushing to finish an assignment before it's late, or doing an entire essay the night of, or even the day it's due, something I'm very guilty of. Despite all of the struggles and stress, we are able to let it all go as we stand here today, ready to graduate as the class of 2020. It has been easy to forget what we started as, little 6th graders walking through the silver gate into the New World Prep courtyard for the first time, to see a large yellow and green globe on the brick wall. We all thought 8th grade was so far away. We had so much hope and wonder for what was to come. Over the course of these 3 years, I think I can say that we have all grown as a community and individuals. Many of us have matured, and some of us still have some maturing to do, but we have all grown into the shells of the amazing leaders we are going to be throughout the rest of our lives. We have made friendships that will last a lifetime, and learn many lessons that we can take and use over the course of our future years. High school is one of many achievements that we will all accomplish, and I'm glad to be able to experience it with many of you. Our years here at New World Prep haven't been all work and stress. There have been times where we're able to relax and laugh in the classroom. We can never forget Mr. Hart and his spins and tea and iconic smoothies, or everyone's favorite student, Ikamafuma, whom we are still waiting for to come back to Mr. Tarloff's class, and many inside jokes with other teachers. It's the tears, laughter, and determination that connect us all as students. In spite of our differences or disagreements among each other, we can all celebrate the memories and accomplishments we have all made together. Moving on to high school can be a nerve-thrilling experience. It's a time of new opportunities and new beginnings. It's a time where we are able to look back and see how much we have grown. For our high school years, whether we spend it with classmates that we already know or an entire new group of people, I hope you enjoy it. I hope you are all able to have enough bad so that we can truly appreciate the good. Enough rainy days to appreciate sunshine, enough heartbreak to appreciate true love, and enough tears to appreciate the smiles. We are still young teenagers. We are bound to make mistakes and struggle, but we cannot let that define us. One thing I've learned over the years is that it's okay to make mistakes. Mistakes are what form us as human beings. It's what makes us unique. So don't hide them. Embrace your mistakes and turn them into lessons. You have to experience life to understand life. Most importantly, don't ever forget to have fun. There are times to be serious, but you have to be able to enjoy yourself. You only live once, make the most of it. One thing that I want all graduates to take away is that this is your life, your story. Don't let anyone live it for you. Write your own story the way you want it to play out. You all have the capabilities to do anything that you desire to do. We, the class of 2020, are a powerhouse of change, creativity, and determination. Life has thrown many things at us, from COVID-19, medical issues among students, ICE raids, and numerous other challenges and heartache. But above all, we were still able to continue on. We will push boundaries to make this world a better place, one change at a time. It is important for all of us to remember where we came from and remember where we are going. Pride, respect, excellence, and purpose. 4 concepts that were drilled into us here at New World Prep. We are here today because we were able to not only display them, but master them. These are the key skills that will be most crucial in our lives outside of those silver gates. We may have walked into New World Prep as small 6th graders. We were walking out as well-rounded and educated vessels of greatness. Congratulations, graduates of 2020. We made it.
At this time, I would like to introduce our school president, Mr. Eugene Foley, who will address the graduates.
Good afternoon, everyone. Well, it's hard to believe it's come to that time to say goodbye, and it's hard to believe we have to say goodbye this way. Usually, we would be in a large auditorium at Port Richmond High School. I would be up on stage with Ms. Ainley, our principal, along with the board members and many other distinguished guests. My front row seat would allow me to see each one of you, along with your family and friends who would be here to celebrate with you. To see your smiles, to hear your laughter and cheers for one another, to listen to the music, to have you walk across the stage and shake your hand will not happen in the same way. And in one way, that makes me feel sad. I know it must be more frustrating for you and for your families. You have worked so hard, and you deserve better. I know your teachers and our staff are extremely disappointed that we cannot celebrate your accomplishments in our traditional way. But that will not stop us. That will not stop New World Prep from celebrating. This day, we celebrate you, but we also celebrate the work of your family and the hard work of all the staff at New World Prep who have stood by you and with you these past 3 years. Nothing can stop us from celebrating. I take comfort when I think of the words of Stephen Hawkins. Stephen William Hawkins was a former professor of mathematics at the University of Cambridge and author of A Brief History of Time, which is an international bestseller. He led several prominent educational research programs at the most prestigious institutions. And you may have even seen the movie about him a couple of years ago. Early in his career, Hawkins contracted a motor neuron disease of the brain and was given only 2 years to live. But he proved everyone wrong. He was confined to a wheelchair and had a great difficulty with movement and speech, but he lived for many years. Life gave him a real bad break, and his life could have been controlled by this disappointment. But he did not let himself remain in this disappointment. He knew his world would be more, and he made the decision to make it more. Stephen Hawkins is regarded as one of the most brilliant theoretical physicists since Einstein. I like the way Stephen Hawkins spoke about his life. He said, "However bad life may seem, there is always something you can do and succeed at. Where there is life, there is hope." So that is where we are today. We may have some disappointment, but we are filled with hope because of your accomplishments these past 3 years. You're willing to work hard to get to this point of now being ready for high school. This is just one moment of the success in your life. But remember, where there is life, there is hope. I hope you realize we want to celebrate all of you, and we want to celebrate each of you. Yes, we want to celebrate you as a class, but we want to celebrate your individual accomplishments. Even with my disappointment of not being able to see you, not being able to give you a diploma, to hear all the excitement of your families, to laugh together, and for one last time to be with you as a class, I do stop, and I thank God for our time together. I'm not sure you fully realize that it is a privilege for our staff, for Mrs. Ainley, and for myself to have walked with you these past 3 years. This graduation is a celebration and a sign of hope. By reaching this point in your life, you have been successful. There is so much more ahead of you. Remember, you got today what you got today, which means you can always hope for tomorrow. I have a small confession to make. A couple of weeks ago, I was sitting home watching TV, and these days, a lot of us are watching a lot of TV. I'm a more of a cooking channel type of guy, but I was flicking through the stations, and American Idol caught my eye. Certainly not my first choice of TV shows, but it was the finalists. I know some of you watched it. Yes, I would put money on it, that Kim Adams watched it. I was struck by the lives of each of the 4 finalists. Their life journey was not so easy. Some of them experienced poverty, others experienced homelessness, and some of them racism. And maybe all 3 of these challenges were present. As their stories were shared, you could see so quickly the issues that life had given them. It may have been unfair, it may have been unjust. Life is so real sometimes and tough for us. Yet they had one thing in common: music. Music was their source of hope. Music moved them, and they no longer felt controlled by the situations they were thrown into. They chose to listen to their gift and risk to take the first step. They were not just going to settle for things as they were. No, they made a choice. For them, they made the decision and took the risk. Music was their path that would open the door to happiness and success for them. Not all of them could win the contest, but each of them knew they were going to follow the path they chose they chose to take, which would give them hope. So I ask you today, class of 2020, what is your choice? What will be your source of hope in the good and the difficult times? You see, nothing can stop you unless you let it. I was reminded of this truth by the lives of these finalists on American Idol. The finalist referred to herself as the unbeatable. Who was she? In some eyes, just a girl who sang in the subways. She took a risk. She made herself vulnerable and made a choice. And when she risked, she accepted who she was and who she wanted to be. She addressed her challenges, and she chose hope and became unbeatable. I hope over the past 3 years you learned a lot. Yes, the math, the science, the social studies, the English, and the rest of all your subjects are important. But I hope that you learned the value of you, of who you are. No one can, and no one should take that from you. I hope you learn the skills to make that true, because we believe that about you. Be Unbeatable sang as her closing song, the song You Say. Now, I don't know if I can even say this, the author of that song's musician's name, but her name is Lauren Dangle. And you might know that song, You Say. The words really moved me, and they say what I want you to take with you as you leave us. She sang, I keep fighting voices in my mind that say I'm not enough. Every single lie that tells me I will never measure up. I am more than just the sum of every high and every low. Remind me once again just who I am, because I need to know. You say I am loved when I cannot feel a thing. You say I am strong when I think I am weak. You say I am held when I am falling short. And when I don't belong, oh, you say I am yours. And I believe, oh, I believe, what you say of me, I believe. Class of 2020, we hope that you leave us a little bit smarter in your academics. But more important, that you know you make the choice of hope for where life goes. You are not just the sum of all your highs and lows. I hope that as you leave, you know that whatever comes your way, whatever obstacle and joys you experience, that you can always hear in the back of your head that you need to know what New Warm Prep taught you, that you were loved, that you are strong, that you will make the difference because of your choice of hope. And as I say to all the students at graduation, you will be missed, and do not forget to come back often to see us. Thank you, class of 2020.
Paola Acevedo. Kim Adam. Jermaine Adu. Leslie Alcantara. Mariah Allenby. Genesis Almanzar. Euridia Alvarado. Giovanni Alvarez. Charisma Anova. Alex Antonio. Alyssa Arafat. Jocelyn Balbuena Flores. David Balbuena. Alexander Barragan Mejia. Fadil Baruja. Rafael Basurto. Yahir Basurto. George Benavides. Nicholas Brathwaite. Kevin Cabrera. Christian Castillo Falcon. Jasmine Cortez. Caesar Cristobal. Isaac Cruz. Michael Cruz. Luna Cuevas. Guadalupe Diaz Gonzalez. Destiny Diaz. Ann Christie Dole. Ashley Dominguez. Marlon Edwards. Maria Ezekiel. Narissa Estrada. Juliana Estudio. Raynell Evans. Naleli Fabian. Brenda Falcone. Ryan Garcia. Flor Garcia. Jarian Garcia. Sherlyn Garcia. Jacqueline Gonzalez Tapia. Alexa Hernandez. Ethel Haneen. Amber Hotelling. Janina Irizarry. Talia Jackson. Joel Juarez Rivera. Octavia Kirkland. Faith Corian. Hope Corian. Mesu Koruma. Ian Lemus Muniz. Justin Lazama. Jazai Long. Annalise Lopez. Moses Mene. Aaron Marin. Christian Martinez Tapia. Diana Martinez Vasquez. Nayela Martinez. Devin Matos. Hector Mejia. Leslie Mejia. Sherlyn Mendez. Victor Mexiquita Lopez. Elenon Mikoku. Gianna Minor. Gabriel Montes de Oca. Ruby Morales. Tiari Neri Solano. Alda Nestor Camacho. Eric Nieto. Mubarak Olayaku. Randy Oliver. Alani Orelis. Alexa Ortega. Camerino Ortega. Helen Ortega Mendoza. Kevin Panfilo. Jordi Perez. Jeremiah Pasantes. Omar Figuero Garcia. Eric Quintero. Elizabeth Ramon. Mahad Rashid. Marco Reyes Cruz. Maria Reyes Ezekiel. Wendy Reyes Morales. Alex Reyes. Kenny Reyes. Nalea Reyes. Brian Rivera. Michael Robinson. Margaret Rocha. Jean Carlos Rodriguez Estudio. Najeli Rodriguez Estudio. Gabrielka Rodriguez. Roman Rojas. Christopher Salgado. Adami Sanchez. Ethziri Sanchez. Elijah Sauls. Latif Seydoux. Dua Shaw. Sharon Sibu. George Suarez. Yasmin Tapia Mendoza. Gabriela Tapia. Haja Timberlake. Jenny Torija Ortega. Lana Torres Reyes. Pamela Torres. Maria Torre. Angel Vasquez Valbuena. Carlos Vasquez. Elijah Watson. Timothy Windrum. Jeffrey Sakopa Sarong. Jaden Young. At this time, I would like to introduce our school principal, Mrs. Amanda Ainley, who will address the graduates.
Good afternoon, staff, parents, family, friends, anyone else tuning in on a phone or a tablet, and most importantly, I welcome the class of 2020. My name is Amanda Ainley, and I am the proud principal of New World Preparatory Charter School. I would also like to welcome and thank our Board of Trustees and our school president, Mr. Eugene Foley, for their continued guidance and support. To our 8th grade scholars, I know this is not what we spoke about. We didn't get a chance to rehearse on Tuesday and Thursday mornings during UP time, where I would have reminded you that when you shake someone's hand, you have a firm grasp and you look them in the eyes. And the part that saddens me the most is that I will not be able to see you walk across the stage to receive your diploma. Walking nervously because all eyes are on you, and maybe it's only the second time you're wearing the new pair of shoes you would have worn to prom. And walking with pride because of all you've accomplished. However, as we've done in these last 3 months, we are finding a new way to celebrate while honoring our traditions and our community. Class of 2020, this graduation is so beautiful because it still celebrates you and recognizes all that you've accomplished. I encourage you to embrace this moment. Commit to finding the beauty in it, and you'll be happier for that. Otherwise, you're going to find yourself trying to come to terms with how you wish it would be and fighting reality. Brené Brown said, in order to empathize with someone's feeling and experience, you must be willing to believe them as they see it, not as how you imagine their experience to be. Class of 2020, your experience at New Worlds Prep, especially in the last 3 months, are your experiences. And however you explain them to be, I believe them because they are yours. The year 2020 will definitely be in the history books one day. Who knows, maybe Mr. Tarloff will be teaching your kids or grandkids about the pandemic of 2020. And they're going to look to you and they're going to ask you, what was your experience? What did you do? And for that, I encourage you to write it down now. Write down your emotions, your actions, your reactions. It is only through the passing on of these authentic, first-hand experiences that we can understand and empathize what it's like to live during such an unrest period of time. They can be proud that you, your generation, will be the ones to finish what other generations started. The lyrics from Rise Up from Andra Day, which just so happens to be your graduation song, opens up with, you're broken down and tired of living life on a merry-go-round, and you can't find the fighter, but I see it in you, and we're gonna walk it out and move mountains. In this moment of confusion and unrest, I find comfort when I think of you, the 120 young people in the graduating class of 2020, and I am confident, without any hesitation, that you will move mountains. As a class, you started a charter in 6th grade. You adapted it in 7th grade, and then you had the final version in 8th grade. You know how I know you're a class of change? The feeling words that you identified how you wanted to feel at New World Prep over the years were respected, appreciated, comfortable, understood, equal, and welcomed. Over the last 3 years, you have worked with each other to feel these feelings consistently by speaking to each other using positive tones, accepting people for who they are, regardless of race, sexuality, gender, religion, and expressing gratitude. And did you get it right all of the time? No, but we're not perfect and we know that. But when you did make a mistake, you took ownership of that. You asked a staff member to assist you. You attended peer mediation. Scholars, all that I just said to you, you wrote that in your charters. Those are your words. And it is so inspiring to know that as young people, you can develop that sense of camaraderie with each other and work with each other through the years. I'm so excited to see what your next charter will say in high school. Even though the situation is not what we expected or how we wanted your journey to end at New Worlds Prep, I know there will be beautiful, positive things to come from it. Maybe you're deciding that you want to be a nurse or a doctor because you admire their bravery during this time and you want to be there to help if we ever experience this pandemic again. In fact, I believe that's true. We have 21 scholars heading to the nursing program at Curtis High School and 4 more going into the Medical Technology Academy at Port Richmond. That's 21% of this class already on their way to be the future health heroes we can count on. Maybe you're noticing the unfortunate cycle of injustice in our legal system, and you want to actively be a change agent in that field. That's true too for this class. We have 14 scholars going into the Human Legal Studies Law Enforcement Academy at Curtis. Lastly, maybe you realize how important teachers are and the amazing ways they can make a difference in one's life, even on the Google Classroom or in Google Meet sessions. Whatever you decide, I know you're going to do great things. If those inspiring accounts don't convince you that the class of 2020 will move mountains, I add on to say that 81% of them were accepted into one of their top 3 choices for high school. And the controversy that surrounds the inequality and lack of diversity and inclusion of Black and Latino students in specialized high schools, which, if you are not aware, I will quickly add that for the 2020 admissions, 27,000 scholars sat for the SHSAT exam. And of the 4,265 students that were given a seat, only 11% were Black or Latino. I am extremely proud to say that there were 5 New Worlds Prep scholars that earned a seat to a specialized high school. 1 to Brooklyn Latin and 4 to Staten Island Tech through the Discovery Program. Class of 2020, I know that New World Prep has provided you the skill set needed to succeed on your journey. In high school, there will be a lot more kids, more opportunities for new friendships, new social groups, and more peer pressure. Remember that our choices make our character, and always make the right choice. Don't get down if things don't go your way the first time. I am confident that you are ready to tackle and embrace all that high school has to offer. So pursue new interests, try out for a sports team, audition for the school play, or learn a new language. Scholars, you will be missed, but we are quite excited to see where you will lead us next. All we need is hope, and for that, we have each other. Congratulations, class of 2020.
You're broken down and tired of living life on the merry-go-round, and you can't find a fighter, but I see it in you, so we gon' walk it out. Move mountains, we gon' walk it out and move mountains. And I'll rise like the day. I'll rise up, I'll rise unafraid. I'll rise up, and I do it 1,000 times again. And I'll rise up, I like the waves. I'll rise up, in spite of the ache. I'll rise up, and I do it 1,000 times again. The silence isn't quiet, and it feels like it's getting hard to breathe. And I know you feel like dying, but I promise we would take the world to its feet. Move mountains, bring it to its feet. Move mountains. And I'll rise up, I'll rise like the day. I'll rise up, I'll rise unafraid. I'll rise up, and I do it 1,000 times again. for that we have each other. And we will rise, we will rise, we will rise. We'll rise. I'll rise up, rise like the day. I'll rise up in spite of the ache. I will rise 1,000 times again. And we'll rise up, I like the waves. We'll rise up in spite of the ache. We'll rise up and we'll do it 1,000 times again.
Graduates, please stand. By the power vested in me by the Board of Trustees and the New York State Department of Education, I now pronounce you graduates of New World Preparatory Charter School. Please move your tassels from right to left. Congratulations, class of 2020.